Hey, this is Philip with the Viral Publicity. I'm here at Monstah Lobstah with the owner, Allen Berube. How you doing?
I'm fantastic. How you doing today?
Great restaurant you got here. Tell us a little bit about how this all originated.
Monstah Lobstah started about a little over 11 years ago. I think I'm going on my 12th year in Tampa, Florida. It all started from a simple vacation, visiting Tampa. I was down there and chasing the sun, chasing the women, I guess, and
Right.
I was at a local car dealership, and this guy was telling me, "Oh, you're from Maine." He says, "I'm having a party next week." He says, "You got any connection on lobsters up there? Is anything you do?" I was really looking for some lobsters, and I mean, it was kind of the right place at the right time, and I was absolutely. I called my father, and he says, I told him, "Hey, I needed these lobsters, and this car dealership wanted them. I could make a couple extra bucks just to be able to hang out in Florida a little longer."
Okay.
And so I did it. And when I brought the lobster to this guy's car dealership where he was working, everyone else at the car dealership, they wanted lobsters the next week. So I said, "Shoot, you know what, Pop?" I says, "Could be a little business in this."
Sure.
So I started doing it every now and then. I shipped down a few lobsters when I went down there and visit some friends that I had made in Tampa. And the business was kind of born. And it started out as just a small takeout. I opened a little storefront in Carrollwood. It's in Tampa.
Okay.
And it took off. It was just the lobsters. It was a seafood chowder and a lobster roll sandwich, and it did fantastic because it was a different kind of theme, something many people hadn't seen before. And it was just a good story. It was kind of neat how I came down from Maine and got it going like this. And then honestly, it was just a way to be able to stay in Florida and figure out how to make some money and not have to work for someone.
Well, then you found yourself out here in Las Vegas. How'd that come about?
Well, there was actually a little bit of a road before then. I opened that little takeout, and then I opened a 30-seat restaurant in South Tampa, which had kind of become the model of what Monstah Lobstah was. I added some stuff on the menu, so I diversified to get a little bit of a lunch crowd and a more of a dinner crowd. And then, things kept on moving forward. After that, I had boxed growing up as a kid. I wrestled in high school. And, the new sport, MMA fighting, cage fighting was erupting onto the scene. And so I went and tried it at a local gym, and I enjoyed it. I liked it. It was a pastime. And then I just picked up a few fights to try to advertise my business. I went to one of the local shows with 1,000 people in the crowd. I said, I boxed as a kid. I could get in the cage and I could fight. And I could advertise the restaurant. I have 1,000 new customers here at this fight. So I did it. I won the few fights that I had fought. Then they had a tryout for the Ultimate Fighter show in Miami.
Okay.
I was like, you know what, crazier things have happened. Why not? I went and checked it out. I said, if I could advertise my restaurant on the small level of 1,000 people, can you imagine if I made it into the UFC or made it on this reality show? It could be something,
Sure.
I could really, I'd become a name across the country. They're making, look what they're doing with people that don't have businesses that got these names. I got something I could sell on top of that. So try it out. I made it over, thousands of people. I don't know how many thousands of people try out every year to get on this show.
Right.
Dana liked me. We had a lot in common, being as he's from the Boston area. He understood my accent. Not many people do. So I made it on the Don show, and there's a lot of little stories that go along with it, but that's the pretty much bottom line. And then what happens is, it's still going. Monstah Lobstah is going great. After the show's over, I get some business from it, and it's going great. A guy from Las Vegas, he owns Doc Holidays. Long story short, he comes to eat at Monstah Lobstah in Tampa.
Okay.
Loves the food. He's like, I got these bars in Las Vegas.
Okay.
Be great if you could come out to Vegas and check it out. I might have an opportunity for you. So I came, checked it out. 2 months later, Monstah Lobstah's open. And here we are. And I'm commuting from Tampa to Vegas. And that's the story of it right there. And really.
Well, now you have two here in Henderson.
Yes.
And where are they?
I got one on Serene and Easton.
That's where we're at now.
Yeah, and it's about 80 seats. It's a full menu. We're open breakfast all the way to dinner. We open at 8 o'clock in the morning for breakfast, and we close at 9 o'clock during the week in the evening, and 10 o'clock at night on the weekends. And we also have one up in Anthem, which is just keep going south on Easton, all right? And we're up in Anthem Village Drive.
Okay.
And both are great locations.
Both inside of Doc Holiday.
Absolutely. We got TVs. You can watch sports. We try to get that New England feel here, the New England atmosphere with, the pitches of the Boston Red Sox, which is, one of my favorite teams, the Celtics. You know, so we got a lot of transplants. This is a big reason why I think Monstah Lobstah is going to do so great in Las Vegas. All the transplants, all the retirees, all the people, a lot of people from New England live in Las Vegas.
Wow.
What don't they have? What don't they have? They don't have the food that they're used to eating in New England. So I brought it to them here.
Okay.
It was a perfect fit, an issue that needed to be done, and Monstah Lobstah brought it to you guys.
Well, what we have here on the table that the
This is something that you might be interested in if you're from New England. A lobster omelet. Who sells a lobster omelet in Las Vegas besides Monstah Lobstah? All right.
that looks fantastic.
It really is. I'm going to be eating this in just a minute if you don't get to it first, okay?
And the pricing that you have here are so reasonable.
Yeah.
For everything.
You know, we have breakfast for $3.99.
That's fantastic.
We have coffee for 45 cents. I get some people coming in. They're like, I haven't seen coffee for 45 cents for 1945. You know, So another thing we sell here, we do the famous lobster roll. A lobster roll. These are very common in New England. Everywhere sells. McDonald's sells lobster rolls in New England. Okay.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. So
that
this is
looks fantastic.
Absolutely. This is something we brought to the area. You know.
Excellent. Well, you also got some lobsters over here. We're going to take a look at lobsters in the tank. They have live lobsters here on the premises that they will pull out and cook.
Absolutely. And the bar next door to us, Doc Holidays, they also do gaming. So hey, you could eat, you could go next door, do some gaming. It's a win-win.
Right. And of course the bars in Las Vegas, they don't allow smoking, so you've got your restaurant right next door, and I think the law allows them to cater in.
Absolutely. You can actually walk between the two. There's a door between the two. You don't even have to go outside. You can stay right in the building.
Right.
Come here, eat at Monstah Lobstah, go next door, have a beer, have a cigarette, do some gaming. And I'll tell you, those machines pay.
That's fantastic. Well, we're going to take a look at the lobsters right here.
Guys, listen, I want to give you a heads up. If you bring home lobster, you're guaranteed tail.